Welcome back to another episode of Brian's Action Figure Reviews. I hope you enjoyed the review of Mystique yesterday, which you can check out here if you follow the link. Today I'm going to be reviewing the movie set on Elton John's life, Rocket Man. Taron Egerton plays the title role. I went to see it the other night. A lot of people are expecting it to be like a Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's a bit different. Before I go any further, please subscribe. And yeah, so that's all. I'm not going to plug anymore. So on to the movie. Taron Egerton plays Taron Egerton. He plays Elton John in the lead role. Jamie Bell plays Bernie Taupin, is it? The lead songwriter in real life for Elton John. So I went into this film expecting it to be very like Bohemian Rhapsody, but it's not. Bohemian Rhapsody is very much a straightforward Freddie Mercury film, Queen, etc., etc. But this kind of plays out a little bit more like a musical, which I'm not a fan of musicals myself. So within the first 10 minutes, there were two music numbers, and I was thinking to myself, oh, I hope it's not all like this. But it wasn't. It really wasn't. Initially, I was put off by the music numbers because you see him as a little kid and his parents or whatever giving him shit and stuff. And then all of a sudden, the whole street breaks out into song, or the whole pub breaks out into song. No, the songs are good, obviously, because it's Elton John. All his music is pretty much awesome. Let's not beat around the bush. So, what followed was 2 hours of really, really solid movie. I'm going to keep comparing it, but I thought by the end it was a much better film than Bohemian Rhapsody, and Taron Egerton matched, if not beat, Rami Malek's portrayal of the lead role. I thought he was fantastic as Elton John. He even went as far as cutting back his hairline and learning all the music and etc. The music is told from the point of view of Elton from Rehab. So you see him and he walks in and he's got this big extensive costume and walks in and sits down and says, I'm Elton John and I'm an alcoholic and this is my story. So it starts from when he's a kid all the way up to where he is in the rehab centre. I thought the performances were fantastic. His mother is played by the girl who was in Jurassic World, Bryce Dallas Howard. His manager is played by Richard Madden, who was in Game of Thrones as Robb Stark. His songwriter, as I said, Bernie Taupin, is played by Jamie Bell, who you may know from Billy Elliot. And I think the performances all around are brilliant. The storyline is done brilliant. There isn't any punches pulled. That's what I loved about it. What I knew of Elton John before I went into this movie was he was a great singer, he was homosexual, whatever, that doesn't make a difference to me, and he was a bit of an arrogant bastard, from what I heard. But this movie pretty much confirms all of the above. And this movie is produced by Elton John's company, so he did have a hand in it, and he had said in press leading up to it, he didn't want it to be a fluff piece, he wanted it to be realistic, with a bit of extravagance thrown in there, and that's exactly what it is. I think it's unfortunate that it's not doing as well as Bohemian Rhapsody did, and it's probably coming in the wrong time of the year for Oscar nominations as well, which I think Taron Egerton is well worthy of, and he definitely should get a nod, even if it is not till next January now, I think, is when that stuff comes around again. This for me is an early contender for Movie of the Year. I went in expecting to like it. I came out having loved it and gained a new respect for Elton John as well, for what he went through. A spoiler, a little bit. Elton John went into rehab once. Yeah, once, and is clean since. How many times do you hear of actors or singers or entertainers in general going into rehab 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, multiple times and still not getting clean? But Elton John went into rehab once and that sorted his shit out. So I am very, very taken aback by him. Taron Egerton was amazing. I'm not... And you know what it did as well? All of his music, right? Rocket Man, I'm Still Standing, all these kind of songs. There was a context given to them. Why they were written, what reason they gave. I'm Still Standing was a thing of him coming out of rehab. He was still standing after all the drugs and stuff he did. Even in it, there's a part in it where he's having dinner with his mother, and the stuff with his family is really raw. His parents were absolute bastards to him. But there's a part where, like as I was saying, it's pretty raw, where he turns around to his mother at a dinner party and basically says, "Mom, I've fucked everything that moves." And then it breaks into a dance number, but it suits the mood, if you get me. But there's so many moments like that. But that's look, I think you need to go out and see the movie. I would love for it to succeed because it is a much better movie than Bohemian Rhapsody. And Bohemian Rhapsody did massive numbers. So, in the finish, I'm going to rate this A-, because no film is perfect, but this is pretty close. For a music biopic, which I think there will be many in the coming years because it seems to be the thing to do now. Freddie and Elton will be just the start of it. So this is a pretty high benchmark for anyone else who wants to go out and do stuff like that. So this has been Brian's Action Figure Reviews. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and stay tuned for more. Thanks, bye.